What's up guys, Brandon Havrilla with Redmax Events. Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to show you guys briefly how to update the firmware on your Midas M32R or your M32 full size. The process is going to be very similar. There's several reasons you want to keep the firmware up to date on your Midas. They're going to release different firmware updates throughout the year, several times a year, just updating various features or bugs inside the console itself. So it's important anytime you start a show to basically go to their website and check for a firmware update, load it into the console. This way you know you're good to go. The first step is you're going to have to actually throw the firmware from their website onto a USB drive, which you can then insert into your console. Once we get it to the console, there's two different ways you can go about actually loading it into the console. So I'll show you both those in a second. But in the meantime, let's hop on their website and let me show you guys what you have to download. The first thing you're going to want to do is navigate to the Midas website, which is midasconsoles.com. Once you're on the Midas website, you could use the search bar up in the top right to locate your console. Once you make it to the M32R page, simply right at the top here, you'll see a Downloads tab. Select Downloads, and that's going to take you to the page where you could download various pictures of the console, the applications, the documentation, everything like that. The one we're going to want to focus on is right here, and that's called the firmware. So we're going to hit download on the firmware, click allow, and that's going to download it to your downloads folder or wherever you have saved as your preference on your computer. I'm going to insert my USB thumb drive. I'm going to navigate to my downloads folder. Here's the firmware. I'm going to open it up, and what we want to move is the DCP file only. We don't need the release notes, but you can review those so you can see what they changed or updated in the firmware. And you're going to simply drag and drop the DCP file onto your external hard drive or your USB stick. Click on your USB stick, make sure that is the only file on this device. Click eject, and now we're going to bring the USB stick over to the console. Now there's two ways to actually load this firmware into your Midas M32 console. The first one is going to be to insert the USB before the console is turned on, hold the view button for that USB stick, and power the console on. You're going to notice it's automatically going to go into its DCP loading, and it's going to load the firmware right into the console itself. Once that's complete, you'll notice the console will boot up like normal, and you'll be ready to go with the latest firmware. The second method is going to be, after the console's already turned on, to insert your USB stick. You're going to click the Setup tab, and over on the left side, you're going to use the encoder to select Update FW, which stands for Update Firmware. Click Enter. It's automatically going to detect your USB drive. Now you're going to select that DCP file. It's going to ask you if you want to back up and confirm and continue. Now I already updated this firmware using the other method, so I'm not going to go forward with this, but it's as simple as that. So you have two options to update the firmware. As you can see, it's a very simple process to complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If it helped you in any way to update your Midas console's firmware, please leave a thumbs up down below. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for future content. If you guys want any other videos on the Midas M series of consoles, leave it down in the comments below. Let me know if there's anything specific you guys want, and I'll work on getting more videos out there. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.